Ivanka Trump made headlines after she attended a meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. And during that meeting, of course, Trump was there as well. People were wondering why Ivanka was there. Sure, she's part of the transition team, but does it really make sense for her to be part of these types of meetings with international leaders? Well, the New York Times on Sunday reported that she does have some business dealings in Japan, and there could be a conflict of interest. So Ivanka Trump was in the process of finalizing a business deal with a Japanese company when she sat in on Donald Trump's meeting with the Prime Minister. At the same time as the meeting Ivanka attended, another meeting was going on in Tokyo as her clothing company worked to reach a licensing agreement with Shinzo International, whose largest shareholder is wholly owned by the Japanese government.
That's unbelievable. You know, when I saw her in that meeting, I was still at that incredibly late date, still naive.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I guess you wanted to sit down in a meeting.
Yeah.
I'm better than that. I should have seen that better. I mean, I break down the news all the time, and I always say to you guys, hey, there's a reason why things go in the order that they do and why you see the things that you see. And I guess I thought at the time, and we didn't even cover the story because I think all the conflicts of interest were interesting and I would cover it in the midst of the other stories,
right.
But I didn't do one on that,
yeah.
right? In particular, when a lot of people were talking about it, because I was like, I guess they want to kind of show off, like, we don't care. We'll just sit down and have the family sit in on these meetings too. No, I was wrong. It's much more obvious than that.
Yeah.
No, she had a business deal in Japan, so she had sat in with the Japanese leaders. In this case, the business deal is with a company wholly owned by the Japanese government.
And understand that this story is not an isolated incident. There were reports of Donald Trump speaking to the leader of Argentina and talking about some permit issues that he has in that country when it comes to a construction that he's working on. And so more and more of these stories are coming up. And for those of you who think, well, what's the big deal? Okay, so he's a businessman. He's going to be the president. Why shouldn't he take advantage of this great opportunity? It's against our Constitution. It's literally against our Constitution. A president is not supposed to be taking money and have business dealings with foreign leaders, and that's exactly what it looks like is happening right now, right? So Donald Trump has said, no, you don't understand. I'm concerned about this conflict of interest thing. That's why I'm going to hand over all of my business dealings to my children. Still seems like there's a bit of a conflict of interest there. I don't know.
That's not a blind trust. And that's preposterous on its own face, but becomes even more absurd when you say, oh, that's okay, I'm just handing it off to my children. Now my children will attend official meetings I'm having with foreign leaders if those children have business interests in that country. They ran on Crooked Hillary. I mean, Crooked Donald is going to make Crooked Hillary look like a saint. So if you were worried about systemic corruption with Hillary Clinton, and I was, wait till you get a load of the direct corruption with Donald Trump.
But Jake, he hasn't even been inaugurated yet, okay? So
give him a chance.
Give him a chance. He hasn't been. He's already appointed.
We gave him a chance. The first thing he did was self-dealing. You know, in Argentina, he talks to the leader of Argentina. There's a report out from an Argentinian reporter saying that he specifically asked about a permit for his construction on his properties to get approved. It got approved 3 days later.
Oh, what a coincidence.
And it'd been sitting there for years not getting approved.
Weird.
And he even came out personally himself, said, I got a beautiful Trump Tower coming up in Istanbul. A little bit of a conflict of interest. Just doesn't care. Doesn't care. It's against the Constitution. Doesn't care, right? So if you thought he was going to drain the swamp, well, okay, you keep telling us to have an open mind. You keep an open mind, okay? If you see stuff like this and you think this is draining the swamp, really? Really? No, you don't.
No, but why is it that anything that he does right now just doesn't count because he hasn't been inaugurated yet? He's already appointing people to his cabinet, right? That's not.
Of course this counts.
That's not a prediction. That's not what we think is going to happen. It's who he has already appointed in his cabinet, okay? Mnuchin. I mean, that should be enough for you. But no, it's not enough. Why don't we wait until he gets inaugurated? He's going to look out for rural white Americans. Yeah, don't hold your breath. We'll
there's
see
a
what
lot
happens.
of rural white Americans in his cabinet, to be fair. Oh, right, there aren't any. It's all Wall Street guys like Mnuchin, who's the Treasury Secretary, another billionaire who's the Commerce Secretary, and guys who work for George Soros and the Rothschilds and Goldman Sachs. Everything he said he was against, he's doing now, including his main thing that he ran on. She's crooked. I'm going to drain the swamp. His new nickname is the Swamp. This is exactly what the Swamp would do. He would just be brazen and go, yeah, my daughter has business dealings in Japan. I got the leader of Japan right here. Honey, come on in. Close the business deal. He's supposed to be working for us, not himself. Corporate media?
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Join the Young Turks. Be the independent media. Get all of our shows commercial free. tytnetwork.com/join. Ooh, I thought that was pretty good.